we doing, Pete?
We are making spacers.
Yeah.
So that's a proper one.
So this is an alternator spacer off of an early 289/302. They are pretty simple, just bits of aluminum. They measure 1.635 inches long, and they cost about 19 bucks a piece. So I had a bunch of aluminum bar stock, exactly the same specs, except it doesn't have the slit down it. So I chopped up a couple with the bandsaw, and Pete's just here on the lathe.
Yeah,
carving them
one
out.
I made earlier.
Yeah.
So
probably for about $1 a piece instead of $18 a piece.
yeah,
So
work of art. Look.
that's
Chamfered edges and everything.
yeah. So it'll be just perfect.
So we're having 3 at that size,
Yeah.
and then you want 2.
Just a bit longer, like if you added a washer, because I found a lot of times when you have these when you have these together and you get the pulley and the V-belt on there, this needs a little washer to space out the alternator a bit more to get the V-belt to line up perfectly. So we're gonna try one,
just a little bit bigger.
one of each, see which one's.
Right, okay, I'll carry on then.
Yeah, well, I'll bring you over here and show you the highlight of what's going on today.
Excuse me, this is.
Oh yeah, show's over. Pete's done. All right, so what we got rolling on here today is we are machining down the rocker studs. These have already been, the studs have been pulled out and they've been tapped, but they haven't been done correctly, because in order to do this right, you need to machine down these bosses here to make, or to compensate for the thickness you're going to add back with the guide plate and the hex portion of the rocker stud. So if you don't do this, your rocker arm won't sit down low enough and the fulcrum will actually start digging into the stud. So the measurement you machine this down is not super set in stone. With the thickness of the plate, the thickness of the rocker stud, plus a little bit of the arc. So I decided to go down 0.275 of an inch. So in order to do that, we got the super precise drill press rig set up here. I had to buy a special cutter. So this one's from Proform, and I'll throw the part number up right here. It's about $100 and something cutter. So once we set it up in the drill press, we had to get the right angle. And to figure out the angle, I went online and figured out that the angle of the rocker stud compared to the face of the cylinder head is half of what the valve angle should be. So small block Ford valve angles are 20 degrees. So the valve angle, or the rocker stud angle, should be 10 degrees. In order to find that accurately, so I got a super precise level here. And so these are all flat across the top with the surface of the valve cover gasket. So that's about as close as we can get it to within being perfectly flat.
And that was only achieved because of under here.
So,
well, in fact, if you get the orange one, Mike,
yeah,
we'll show you.
Well,
this is what
your Pete went on, designed up a 10-degree incline so we could cradle the head in it. We made one the whole width of the platform for the drill press, and you can move this around and it's not really going to affect the angle at all. We have a little jack at the end with these little small ones to support it, so when the weight gets too much, keep it level. And you can see right here, I just went down and touched off very lightly. You can see there's still a bit of the cast iron almost all the way around, so we're very, very level and within like 1/10 of a degree to where it should be. So I'm happy with the setup. We got our stops set, and then I'm going to go down the line and just start milling all these down. We already got one head cut, so we can talk about it a little bit more accurately. But all this, it was from one cylinder head. Machined it all off. So
that's quite amazing, isn't it? Really, considering it's like.
So
we've got one more to go.
We're gonna knock this out. Should take about maybe 10-15 minutes. And I have another cutter I purchased because I went and did the tops of the valve guides for the new seals, and I wanted to machine them for 0.530 seals. But whoever did these seats in the past machined only the intake ones to 0.500, so that's why there's this step there. So I got another 0.500 cutter, and I'm going to just do them all the same and get 0.500 inch positive stop seals. I'm going to make sure the valve guide clearances are good. With these good and torqued, they're all going to be ready to get put together. So
Does that mean we need some more design work and printing?
No, these they're self-piloting.
Ah, right, just on a drill.
Yeah, so on a drill, you put a mandrel on and it cuts it perfect. So one thing else to note, even on these heads that I just did, there's still a 1/2 inch of threads in the head to lock in to the rocker stud. Almost exactly 1/2 inches of threads.
That's upside down.
Well, so we're going to have full thread engagement in the solid cast iron, so we can torque these right up to the limit. I think 40-45 foot-pounds. And,
yeah,
I'm going to be very, very happy. And these would be a great set of heads when they're all done. So I'm going to get cutting and knock this out. And I'll be right back. Oh, there you go. I mean, it's progress, guys. That's all I can say. Something that I didn't really show before I put these heads together is you got these little brushes here from a company called Flex Hone. They're the same people that do like the dingle ball hones for honing your cylinders out to break the glaze, give you a nice little crosshatch pattern there. But they make all kinds of little hones, and this is for the valve guides. So it's got little dingle balls on it of abrasive. And I ran them down all the guides real quick just to make sure there's no burrs in there, make sure there's no high spots. Put them all together. I got the new Trick Flow, valve guide oil seals. And I had my my installer tool that I took the edges off, with a piece of sandpaper, just so it doesn't tear up the seals as you're trying to hammer them on there. It's still dicey every time you do these. It's like I wish they give you like an extra couple, but just so you don't hammer or tear one up when you're putting it on, because they're so darn expensive, and you mess one up and then you're kind of hosed. But got them all on there nice. I use 90 weight gear oil. You got to put them on there because you use some thinner stuff and they kind of get stuck a little bit. I almost think of maybe even use some high pressure grease in the future for it, but we can't put our rocker studs in yet until we get them on the engine, get the cam or the lifters and the push rods in, and we're starting to measure for push rod length. And also, you have some adjustability in the guide plates for where the push rod's going to sit on the end of the valve stem tip. And yeah, we're getting there, guys. Every little bit pushes us forward. So I'm going to be happy to get this project moving again, get the heads off the floor, get them on the engine, start moving project out the door. Guy's going to be here tomorrow to pick up the top loader. I sold an old Tremec that I had to the guy that I'm building the 347 for, which is nice. So I'm going to take that money from that transmission, and we have a date set for the coupe to get on the dyno, which is the 17th of June. So Pete's going to help me out, trailering it up there. That's going to be a long day, going to be an expensive day. Dyno time isn't cheap, especially here. I think it's almost like 2.5, 3 hour drive away. And fuel for the Bronco for both ways isn't going to be cheap, but yeah, that's what I got to do to get me there, since all my stuff's in the States, trailerish and truckish. Ranger certainly can't, for being a 4-cylinder, tow it that far. So we're going to move on with some projects. I thank you, gentlemen, for sticking around, and we'll see what we get up to next. So take care, guys, and see you around. Bye-bye.